This video is going to be a quick and easy guide to unlock the Yo Ho Ho Dark Ops challenge in Call of Duty Zombies, and as much as it sounds tricky because you need to complete the side Easter egg to unlock the cursed amulet and then go on to get 20,000 points without taking a single hit, it's actually really straightforward. You can do it super early in your games, so let me just show you how you get this done. Now the beautiful thing about this challenge is it doesn't really matter what weapons you want to be using or what setup you have at the beginning of the game. All I am going to point out is that we are going to need to defeat 3 HVTs, which are basically the beefed up version of the Manglers. So if you did want to bring a meta weapon like the ASG or maybe an assault rifle or LMG, feel free to do that. And of course the GS45's Pack-a-Punch are going to be a godsend too. But as I mentioned in the intro, to even start this process we need to complete the cursed amulet side Easter egg, and in order to start that Easter egg we need to load up the map terminus and go and get ourselves Melee Macchiato. You can then come to the Sea Caves area, or the Speed Cola Cave as I like to call it, where you can find this opening to which you can punch it with your Melee Macchiato and reveal the skeleton of the US Marine who is looking for that treasure. Interact with him and the skeleton will start talking to you, and then he'll reveal a location where his watch has been lost in the water surrounding the main island. Just take note of where the X is on the map to the side of him, because that is exactly where the watch is. Then go and grab yourself a boat, head to their location using the tac map for reference, and then take a quick dip, grab the watch and bring it back to the captain. After interacting with him again here, he will then reveal 3 new locations, and these are going to be the same every game, so I'm just going to show them to you now, but they are going to be locations of 3 different skeletons. Here is where we are now going to be summoning 3 different HVT, so at this point in your game make sure that you Pack-a-Punch your weapon at least once or twice and try and get it to a blue or purple rarity. I believe in my game I was running around with a Pack-a-Punch level 1 blue rarity GS45s and they did more than enough to get the job done. But once you've leveled up a little bit and maybe got yourself a few perks, we then need to wake these skeletons up by throwing either a thermo grenade on them or a Molotov. Again, you might pick 1 or 2 of these up as you're going through your rounds, but you can craft them from the various crafting tables around the map, and of course we're going to need 3 of them, 1 for each body. The first body I'm going to show you is actually located on Castle Rock Island, and it is kind of a little bit hidden away in the sand, but kind of on like the same side, if you will, where the Orb spawn if you go and make the Beam Smasher and go through that part of the Easter egg. If you just hang around the right side of the island from that end, you will then be able to see the skeleton poking out of the sand, and as I mentioned before, if you throw a thermal grenade or a Molotov on that skeleton, after a little bit of dialogue a HVT will spawn and you need to defeat them. Once doing so, they will then drop a cursed coin on the floor that you need to pick up, and that is essentially what we need to rinse and repeat for the other 2 locations. The second body is actually going to be located on the shipwreck itself. If you head to the middle where the main mast is, the skeleton is sort of like propped up against it. Again, throw a Molotov or a thermal grenade on it and it will spawn the next HVT. Kill them, pick up your second cursed coin, and then you can move on to the third location, which is Temple Island, where this skeleton is going to be laying on like this sort of tarpaulin, like the blue sort of like fabric on the staircase. Again, rinse and repeat the method, throw a Molotov, kill the HVT, pick up your third and final cursed coin, and then bring them back to the captain in the Speed Cola Cave. And after interacting with him again here, he'll actually give you a whole bunch of loot, dropping around about 4 or 5 different legendary weapons for you to choose. So this is also a really good method to get really good weapons super early in your games. But once he has thanked you and given you those rewards, we then need to head over to Crab Island, where we need to survive a couple of rounds, and once you do flip the round 2 or 3 times, some lightning will appear striking the island, indicating that there is a chest that has now been revealed somewhere on the island. Again, there's multiple locations. Typically the chest will appear in sort of like the back sections of the island, so just run around whenever you see or hear that lightning strike the island. The chest is going to be pretty obvious as it's going to be glowing gold, so it's kind of hard to miss, but once you do find the chest, inside is going to be the cursed amulet. So now that we've done all that and found the amulet, once you equip it, you now have permanent double points active on your character, and that actually does stack with the physical double points drop, giving you obviously quadruple points whenever a double points is active. effective. But the key part of this challenge and the key part about the amulet is whenever you take damage, you will have a chance of losing a majority of your points. And again, just to remind you, like I did in the intro, the whole point of the Dark Ops challenge is to get 20,000 essence now without taking a hit. That includes no damage taken from zombies, no damage from, say, the Patient 13 that chases you in the water, or at least the green gas that he sends your way, and that also includes any fall damage or any damage from splash damage from things like the GS-45s. As I mentioned before, the GS-45s were actually my weapon of choice, and I was using them in the rec yard, which is like this beginning area on the map, because then that way I could run around, utilize my PhD flopper, and just kill anything around me without being hit. But another key point to note is that score streaks and any other method of getting essence counts towards this challenge. There's other side Easter eggs like the free extra credits you can get and the free double points you can activate around the map that will help you out with this. As I mentioned, score streaks count, so if you are in a high enough round and have enough salvage, you can just buy multiple mutant injections or chopper gunners and use that to fly through the rounds and get you the 20k essence like super safely without ever taking a hit. But all I will just suggest is utilize the game's mechanics. Obviously, some people like to camp in the elevator using the beam smasher. Maybe you can do exactly that with the GS-45s or an explosive weapon and just farm the zombies as they come at you, and if they do start getting a bit close, you can just use the elevator to go up and like not take damage. But because the amulet is giving you a consistent double points essentially, you actually only really need 10k essence, which will really only take about 2 or 3 rounds maximum. So realistically, the earlier you can get the amulet, the better, and just make sure that you're using a weapon that you are more than happy using at a very good distance. But that is everything to know to unlock the Yo-Ho-Ho calling card and of course get the Dark Ops challenge done and get all of the XP that's tied with it. Hopefully this video has helped you out, and if it has done, please be sure to leave a like rating down below, because not only does it help out this channel, but it also helps other people find these videos that may be struggling and want to get this incredibly cool calling card. So by liking the video, you're also doing your bit for the community. But otherwise, if you want to stick around for more Call of Duty Zombies content, we of course have the DLC just around the corner. Make sure that you're subscribed, because you better know we're going to be covering that head to toe and any new content that brings us. But I think I've said enough for this particular video, guys. Obviously, have fun getting this challenge done, but I guess for now, I'll catch you in the next video of whatever it is that we make. Bye bye.